What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA basketball show for games on December 3rd, starring Maxwell Smart. His card opens up with 3 p.m. Eastern action and closes at 10 p.m. Eastern. He has picked 10 games that he is attacking. If you want to check out the entire show, just hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Let's move on to 7 p.m. action. 7 p.m. Eastern. We have St. Francis, Pennsylvania, Red Flash, 1-2 overall, 1-1 on the road at the Liberty Flames, 2-2, and this is their home debut, season debut at Liberty Arena in Lynchburg, Virginia. Liberty is sitting as 10.5-point favorites at FanDuel. This total is sitting at 137.5. Let's start with St. Francis. St. Francis opened their season with a surprise upset win, 80-70 at Pittsburgh. They'd gone into that game 0-26 all-time versus the Panthers. They came crashing back to earth 3 days later in an 80-65 loss at home versus UMBC. And then on Monday, they lost 76-51 at Virginia. They're led by 6'9" senior forward Mark Flagg, who's averaging 13.3 points, 5.7 boards through 3 games. Liberty opened with 2 games in the Space Coast Challenge at Titan Fieldhouse in Melbourne, Florida. They started with a 77-64 loss versus Purdue, then followed that up with a big 84-73 win over Mississippi State. Guard Darius McGee hit 7 threes in that one. Then they went up to the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City, Missouri. They started by beating South Carolina 78-62, which brought them right into the championship game versus TCU, whom they lost to 56-52, and that's Liberty sitting at 500 on the season. Maxwell Smart, St. Francis of Pennsylvania at Liberty.
Well, let me tell you something first, Jim. Go Liberty. Go Liberty. You know what's going to happen tomorrow, Jim? Liberty's not going to take St. Francis, Pennsylvania lightly like Pitt did, okay? Richie McKay is the coach of Liberty last time I checked, not Jeff Capel. The bottom line is Liberty's coming out. They're going to come and hit threes. They got an awesome facilitator. They got a freaking short guy in Darius McGee that is going to run the point when Parker isn't. And this is a guy that is going to be the lead scorer of this team. He's already averaging 17 points per game. Chris Parker obviously coming in from the D2 ranks, averaging 5 assists. And then my surprise on this Liberty team, the guy that has basically usurped Kyle Rode in a sense, Makai Abi. The dude's a 3-point freaking assassin. Give him freaking enough space, he's going to drop it 60% of the time. So I'm really impressed with how Richie McKay has brought guys into the program and how they're performing early on versus very credible competition. Now you're basically getting a cupcake. But with this cupcake, there are little bits of shards of glass in them that you have to eat around. Okay? With St. Francis, you have to understand, they lost a lot of talent in 2 guys last year. In Isaiah Blackman, the guy that ran your show, hit your 3-point shots, hit free throws at the end of games to cash tickets, which he did for 4 goddamn years. This is a brand new team for a lot of people that have been watching them. Well, I'll tell you this. They got a guy named Maxwell Land. He is a 3-point threat. You better close out on his ass because he will drain them, and he will drain them in succession. 1 possession, 2 possession, 3 possession. That's the type of killer shooting instinct this kid has. All right? Then you got Bryce Lasky. You know what? He's no slouch when it comes to it either. He's going to put at least maybe 42, 43% of his 3-point shots in. And when he's going up against NEC competition, it's going to be even sweeter. So St. Francis is definitely a team to keep your eye on as a team that's going to maybe come out of nowhere and surprise the prognosticators. But I'll tell you this, in this matchup against the pack line defense that forces you to take bad shots, closes off the lane, and really just takes you out of your offensive rhythm, it's not happening. I'm going with Liberty. I'm taking Liberty. All right? Give me them full game, Jim. And I'll tell you this also. If you want a personal play of mine, I'll tell you this. I'm not going to make it official for the show because I'm not going to stack on top, but this number is going over 137.5. These two teams shoot the three too well to not go over. And with Liberty's balance and Liberty's protection of the ball and how careful they are with it, I think that this is going to be at least a 20-point game. So go Liberty. Give me the 10.5, please, and thank you.
Minus 10.5 at minus 110, and also saying that the over 137.5 would be a play that he would approve of as well. That's St. Francis at Liberty, and that is at Liberty Arena in Lynchburg, Virginia.